Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe I did say something last time, and I was rather frustrated, angry, and or mad at this game. But as we all know, I tend to manage to make my own fixes, resolutions, or otherwise make things happen. Hello everybody, this is Frogman, and welcome back to an experimental phase from here on out for the long, dark, and this update. Granted, as we can see right there, we're sitting there as a 1% condition in custom mode at 307 days and 11 hours and 46 minutes. At the end of last episode, let me put it like this. I had sat for likely about 6 hours, maybe 7 hours straight and played the game. Because these episodes take time. You know, it takes a really long time to make things happen. So when we're working with this kind of a process, you have to probably, I guess, understand that a game that has been in development this long will have problems. Now, I'm going to do this now because I had an episode already recorded with a nice rant, a whole bunch of crap, because I had tried a couple of things fairly fresh afterwards. I was still very salty, and then I let it sit for a month, and now I'm looking back at it going, maybe there's a thing I can and cannot do to make this continue. Please understand that this is legitimately about a month after we recorded that episode. I just got done editing that thing. So I did the one thing one can do. I'm not able to do anything physically from any one of the menus that is given to me. The access so far that I have tested, at least up to this point, will lead to a couple of discussions, and we're going to get there. But the first thing we're going to do is you guys are going to learn that I have done the smart thing. I've installed Melon mod loader, and then I've also installed the dev console. Now, I've been here playing with this at least a dozen times at this point, so I'm almost certain that this will work right when we get here. I want to complete the story of the trader, and then I want to go take a picture with the camera to end this series. In order to do so, we need to be able to do a couple of things, and this is after the resultant of several hours over multiple sessions spanning at least a couple of weeks to try to figure out how we're going to make this work. The point is, we're not going to be able to fix Milton. Milton is now bugged forever. No matter what I have tried, no matter what I've done, Milton is now bugged forever. And it's because of the thing that I stated at the end of it. We have an eternal fire forever burning in the cave in Milton, and that is due to a bug that is minorly known, but it has been around since before the Redux days. So y'all can go look it up. It's old. It was supposed to have been fixed a long time ago. It's likely due to the fact that we tried to consume a bug tea next to a fire that we could easily bug. But anyhow, what we're going to do, we're going to, because I have now access to the dev console, there's a couple of things that we're going to do immediately. The first thing that we're going to do is that, and this is how I've done this, I had to load up another save so that I could then stand in front of Grey Mothers. I chose Grey Mothers because that was the first reasonable spot that gave me a save point in and out of the world, meaning I could get in and out, I could save, and I could be in front of a bed that's going to be hard to find because we can't see. But, and here's the kicker, because of the fact that we've been given recent updates, it's not that hard to do. So understand right now we are vulnerable to attack should a wolf hit us, but other than that, we are as safe as you can possibly ever be because we're sitting in a bugged spot that is eternally warm, even for an interloper. Now, two of the things that I've tried to do, and I'm going to, before we kick this open, two of the things that I've tried prior to doing this particular little thing that I just got doing is that I didn't realize that it required a decent amount of there's two things I'm still not certain yet on whether what it takes to fix this. It's the amount of time to pass, or the fact that I died and moved to a different zone that allows me to be able to see again. But trust me, I can teleport all over Milton right now, and I won't be able to get my view back until I burn at least a quarter of an eyeball, excuse me, of sleep time. And to that end of it, I've been purposely, at least the 2 or 3 tests that I've done, purposely making sure we hurt ourselves. The thing is, we can't do it with our current state, which is why we have Dev Console. Dev Console is going to allow us to, first of all, teleport to a known location because of the coordinate system based in the game, and also fix our problem. However, and this is the problem, I can't fix the region I'm in given Dev Console. So from here on out, ladies and gentlemen, at least until I tell you I remove it, this is a modded playthrough. So let's fix Astrid. Okay, first 2 things we need to do. We're staring at that campfire. There is a pan. Maybe. Actually, no. Okay, there's a cooking pot. I want it. Thank you. And then I gotta slide over cooking skillet, pick it up, and that burdock tea is the thing that caused our pain and suffering. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fix this heartbeat problem right now. And again, this is cheating as far as anybody's probably concerned. This is cheating. Stop it. We have to go into God mode in order to be able to teleport. So I didn't want to leave those 2 things there, but the interesting thing is if I can get over to swing onto that, it is still, even after a save, a month later, sitting here at this amount of heat output with this kind of a thing. I've flown back up here, tested this. Trust me, I've done this about 4 times now successfully, which is why I'm recording this. This fire is going to burn forever. Period. It's going to sit right there at this level forever. So we're going to back out. We're going to do this. And then we're going to do, I believe the thing is warp. And then the front of Grey Mothers. 302. Now I have to make sure I hit it with the right enter. Theoretically, that should put us sitting within reach of the door at the front of Grey Mothers. Town of Milton, and I just need to figure out where it's at. Because it depends on which direction you were facing. Alright, so repeatedly, what I've done is I've continued to make sure that I keep TPing here. I think what I need to do, we need to actually click over. Let me do this. I keep using warp. Let's do TP. TP means that we're removing the height level. This can be finicky with this game. So if warp gives you the ability to move from one point to another based in space, TP, I believe, or teleport, will put you to the location but without the elevation. Please, all we're trying to do right now before we get stupid is find the front door and level. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. We finally got there. Okay, so replacement fuse right in front of the door is a bunch of garbage. I feel like I'm against the house. I feel like I'm facing the house. Let's try this again. Again, this whole point is to try to make sure you're facing the right way so that you can see the door. Ah, there it is. There it is. All right, so once we're inside, we have control. And once we're inside, we're no longer in God mode. And once we're inside, Astrid is okay. Air temperature's normal, wind chill's okay, everything's good. All of these are just going to start counting down. The reason why we're saying we're okay is because now I have the use of the functionality of being able to see in the dark. Now, none of this is here. We can't see it. None of this is here. We're starting to get a little bit of the flicker. You notice the flare gun is in place. Anything that we would normally hold in our hands, we can now see because we've changed over into a different thing that this area can see. So what we're going to do is we're going to put those away. We're going to hit Y, and we're going to look around. What I need to do is I need to go to a safe location, which is going to be upstairs, next to a bed where I can spend roughly 12 hours. We're going to pass a full 6 hours, probably 7 hours of time. I want to go to a point where I'm draining health, but I'm not in God mode. So we're going to make sure we're out of God mode. So we see the arrows pointing down. We're square. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass. You can do this from the dev commands. I want to do this from the game menu so that I know that anybody can do this. I'm going to pass a full 8 hours of time. I do not care whether or not we take damage. In fact, I want to take damage. I want to take more damage than that.
Mouth so dry.
I want to make sure that that well-fed buff is gone as far as the number right here. Stop. Now, I'm going to hope this works because it's worked 5 tries so far. We're going to drink a full belly of water, and we're going to sleep as long as the game will let us. This is going to be something like 6 hours, maybe 5. Thank God. Now, 2 things that I don't know of at this point in time yet is whether or not the fix to be able to see again is due to the physical change in the fact that we slept for 6 hours or 5 hours or 3 hours or whatever, or the fact that we healed our, actually it's 3 things, or the fact that we healed ourselves all the way back up to full, or the fact that an aurora, excuse me, triggered and changed the scene that exists in Milton. Milton is still bugged, but for now, the scene has been changed in Grandmother's house. For those of you that don't know, every single thing about this game, at least zone, room, building, whatever, and this is why it's so insane to me, every single building, every single room, every single thing has different scenes based on the environment. This is something I've just recently learned. Because of the fact that this aurora triggers on this particular safe, at that point in time, I believe the reasoning why we get to see now is because of the aurora. Now, the reasoning why I say that, and the reason why we're going to have a little really quick talk about this, is because the original fix to try to get us out of this stupidity was to die. I had to set Astrid's condition. Let me do this so that you know what it is. Condition 0 or less than 0. She would die, which would then trigger us to be able to pick a place to go. And as long as I picked a far respawn point, meaning somewhere outside of Milton, we were fine. I've now since learned that no matter whether you pick a far or a close connection, Milton is bugged forever, from now on, for us. It's something that we're going to have to play with, which is why I'm probably going to leave this mod on. However, we can go outside and I can show you. We're fine. We're good. Everything's fine. As long as she's in this building, she's fine. All of our stats are the way they need to be. Everything looks good. We didn't lose anything. Everything's great. To be fair, we're going to put these in a cabinet, and we're not going to care about them. But as soon as we go outside, we notice the red 0. Now, one thing I'm going to do real quick, and I'm going to try to get over here and not get eaten. Stand right here. And we're going to do this. I want to show you something. We're going to fly over to the airplane crash. Hopefully not getting eaten by a wolf. There's the airplane. Right there. And if I go down here, I can hear it. This is too fast. Can I slow it down a little bit? Hang on. Back through the hole. Airplane. It's such a little pocket in this map, it's hard to catch. So, airplane down. 1 second. There it is. Okay, down. The reason why this is bugged is that fire, if I can get to it, is eternal. And it will be eternal for as long as we play this game. Which means from now on, and the reason why this exists, I want to put this in right now because I removed a rant that was going to be this episode, but I spent a little bit more time and I fixed it. The reason why this exists is that it's an old thing from before the Redux for 1 and 2, episode 1 and 2. This fire used to be eternal in the original 2 episodes, and yet for whatever reason, this is still possible if you place the fire exactly where I placed it, because this is exactly where that fire goes. Now, I'm going to blame this whole shenanigan problem on that. Whoop, shoot, touched it. Now, back up. Little fire. And to that end, if I can get there, shift, control, whatever. It's so, flight is so sucky in this as far as control. I'm still sitting at, we have to be careful, we're still sitting at grandmother's and we're susceptible to being eaten. That fire, I'm sacrificing that garbage burdock tea to it. It will live here eternally, as long as we care. My whole entire plan now is to never, ever, ever come back to Milton once we do the one thing we attempted to do last time. So, let me pop out of here. We're back here. We're in an Astrid which obviously is showing a problem. We're going to carefully crouch around because there's, believe me, if anybody's watched The Day After Tomorrow or Groundhog Day, you understand what I'm doing. I already know what's happening because I've already been killed like 3 times by a stupid aurora wolf out there. Anyhow, to fix the issue, once again, and I will be kind on this, she spent X amount of time outside. Set, hold, 25. I think that's fair for now. This may or may not be a short one, ladies and gentlemen. This may or not be one of those kinds of deals. Astrid made it back to town. Astrid required an astrological intervention to drag her back from the depths of whatever garbage that these devs have thrown at us that has been around for a really long damn time. And I mean really long damn time. Before I close, I want you all to go Google this issue and notice that you're going to find at least 3 instances of it in the last year and a half. By no means is this a relatively normal occurrence, but I urge you all very much to never, ever make a fire in that cave ever again. And I urge you also, that was what we were going to do. We're going to put them over here. This little problem, until they fix it, don't ever make these 1% burdock teas ever again. So, I know this is going to be short, and I apologize for all the silliness. I was incredibly frustrated last time, and frustration for me leads to drive to fix a problem. Problem is sorted. We're going to go put her to bed, and next time, we're going to finish at least this first quest. Thanks so much for watching. Please bear with me. We're going to make it, now that I know I can. Bye.